In Quebec and Ontario, the number of cases are already down versus what they were a week ago. They're still about as high as they were as they've gotten in this period in Alberta and BC. So those provinces will have to start making some recoveries as well. But hopefully by February, March, things will be starting to return more to normal. At which time there's every reason to be quite optimistic about the economy. Inflation in the United States is 7% year over year in the consumer price index, and that's really kind of outrageous. And central bankers and politicians, they're in a kerfuffle trying to figure out what they can do to fix this, and probably not going to be able to fix it in the short term. But it's not just inflation. That's the other thing that I'd really point out, that there's something else going on behind the scenes, which is significant as well, and that is that there's a lot of things that are adding to costs and expenses and so on. Companies have to do things that they didn't used to have to do. They have to have compliance courses, and they have to keep up with technology, and that's expensive. And if they have fleets of cars, they're probably going to have to buy electric cars, and that's expensive. And they've got to spend money decarbonizing their production processes. And that's money that's taken away from expanding footprint and increasing capacity. And if you increases to capacity are the old standard way that you dealt with inflation, because if you produce more, then you keep the price down. But if you're not producing more and you're spending your capital funds in other areas, then that takes away from the fight against inflation. Hotel and motel construction and offices, I'm not sure how you can jump back on board in terms of your enthusiasm about those markets just yet. When you're talking about residential and you're talking about the shift in residential, that strength has come not in urban cores. That has been more the single family market, and it's been people moving outside city cores. Every major city in Canada has plans for some major rapid transit expansion. But the way that those projects work is because of a symbiotic relationship between transportation hubs at rapid transit stations. The developers come in and they build these multifamily units, and the multifamily units, there's an appeal to live in these multifamily units because there's transit nearby. And at the same time, there's an appeal to build the units because that people are going to be able to get to work and so on. So they feed on each other. There's this symbiotic relationship between them. One of the things that's really an incredible opportunity right now is the enormous disparity between energy prices in North America and other places around the world. The price of the price of natural gas in Canada and the United States is like 1/6 what it is in Europe. And likewise in Japan and China, because they're paying for LNG from other countries, Qatar and Australia and so on. And if the Canadian producers were allowed to go ahead with projects, and US producers too, as far as that goes, there's this huge cost advantage for oil and natural gas more than oil, because oil is priced globally, but natural gas. So there's a huge price advantage in terms of LNG exporting facilities and fertilizer plants and petrochemical plants. So that's another thing to keep an eye out for. And as I say, we've already had announcements of some major petrochemical work going ahead here.